What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily Rewind. It's where we go back a week, give you all of your tech news stories from the last 7 days in one single video. And this was a crazy week because we found out about a new dual fold Galaxy Z phone that's going to be coming out probably shortly. It looks kind of like a tablet slash laptop. We're going to see what the S21 and S21 Ultra look like. That's towards the end of this video, and there's so much more. It's a really great week for tech news. Hope you enjoy it. See you in the next one. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day, Galaxy S20 Fv, aka Fan Edition, which has just come out within the last week or two at this point, and it's a budget kind of premium phone in some ways. It goes for as low as $599, but generally the retail price is $699. And this phone, 120 hertz, Snapdragon 865, good amount of RAM, storage, all of that, cameras. And there's an issue though, it looks like a slight issue going around with some people that have this phone, and that is that there are touchscreen issues where I guess the phone is kind of erratic with its touch responsiveness, and there's been some posts on Reddit as well as the Samsung community forums stating this. So there doesn't seem to be a fix yet. You can't tell if it's a hardware issue or a software issue, but just be forewarned that if you do have this issue, I would reach out to Samsung. Next up, the Galaxy Tab S7 and S7 Plus have 120 hertz displays, and maybe you love to play Fortnite. Well, you can now play Fortnite on those devices at up to 90 hertz. This would be, I believe, the first Samsung device that allows for 90 hertz for Fortnite. So you'll be able to get ultra smooth animations when you're playing this game. And it should be available right now if you have that device. Update to the latest Fortnite edition, and it'll make you anyway if you try to play. But this is really good news for Fortnite gamers that have a Galaxy Tab S7 or S7 Plus. And the last story of the day, really good news. And this could be for potentially everybody, if not like the international crowd. And it all has to do with the Exynos processor. So the Exynos 1080 is about to come out for the Vivo X60 smartphone, and we have benchmarks on the Exynos 1080 processor, and it actually beats the Snapdragon 865 Plus, and the Exynos 1080 is a mid-tier processor. So you can see the two scores here. Total score for the 865 Plus is 648, 871, and for the 1080, the Exynos one, it's 693, 600. And in basically almost every category, it looks like it went back and forth on a few here, a couple here, actually just one here. It looks like the Exynos, the only one it lost in was the CPU score. It won 181,099 versus 187,401, but it beat it in GPU, it beat it in memory test, it even beat it in the UX. So this is huge for the score here for this again, that's a mid-tier processor, which ultimately leads into next year as well when the new flagship phones come out for Samsung, and those are going to have the Exynos 2100, which will obviously have a better score than the 1080, and the Exynos 2100 is due to have a Cortex X1 super core, again, which should destroy what the 1080 gets. All of this is great news because a lot of the people that had the Exynos processors this year in the Note phones and in the Galaxy S line of phones were pretty disappointed with it, and they wanted the Snapdragon 865 or 865 Plus version of this. I don't think you have much to worry about at this point anymore with these new Exynos processors that are coming out, because they either meet even, but they definitely beat the Snapdragon versions of these phones. So it's very good news. Let's get into the news. As you can see from the headline of this video, this is an Apple-free zone. We're not talking about anything Apple. Let's jump into our first story. First story actually has to do with Samsung's folding phones. That's right, they're folding phones. And this is a render, not really a render, it's a patent that looks like they're going for a potential upcoming foldable Galaxy phone. Let's check it out and let's talk about it. And this comes from Let's Go Digital, and this is a super interesting phone. Basically is a dual folding phone. So it folds on each side, a little bit more on one side versus the other. And you can get it into some very interesting orientations. First of all, you see the ones right here, completely wide open, looks absolutely humongous. And then you can fold it in both sides in, and it becomes a little bit smaller, about half the size more or less, but it still looks like a pretty big device at that. And then you see the back of the device on the right here, what it looks like when it's folded. I don't know if when folded, if those devices screens on the back will still work, will be functional. Here's another one, and this is the same phone really, but it's different orientations that you can put on it. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because the first one you see on the left, you get a big display, which it looks off-centered. It looks almost like a triangle. I don't know if it would end up looking like that, but ultimately it looks like a laptop with the keyboard at the bottom, and then a nice big display on the top half of that. And you see it from the side as well, where it would stand up, and then you see it laying down. And there's some very, very interesting formations for this, where this, if they can get it to look right and function correctly, that this could be a laptop replacement for their next foldable smartphone or tablet, whatever this would end up being. Maybe this would be a phone, maybe it would be kind of smaller, a little bit bigger than what we have now with the Z Fold 2. But this is extremely, extremely interesting. Hopefully they don't keep those little levers on the sides of it. That just looks awfully ugly. Hopefully they put something in a case over it, which I would assume they would, so that you wouldn't see that. The future of foldables is like out of this world interesting to me. They're only going to get better, thinner, and just better looking overall in every sense of the word. So we're at the beginning stages of this. As time goes on, just think 5 years from now, what these foldable devices are going to be and look like. You probably can't even imagine, at least I can't. And then lastly, obviously today is Prime Day. Let's jump through a few of the things that I think are really cool. First one being the Blink Mini. This is a plug-in camera. It's a security camera. It's 25 bucks, or if you download the Alexa app, or you have like an Alexa smart speaker, all you have to do, you can see right here when you order with Alexa, just say, Alexa, order a Blink Mini, and it'll order you one. You can get it for as low as 15 bucks. I love the Blink cameras. Very simplistic, very easy to use, very easy to set up. They work great. I would definitely recommend it. The next one, Galaxy devices. There's a huge sale going on, up to 30% off Samsung Galaxy smartphones. You can get their A71 or their S10, the A21, S20 Fv, or the Note 20 Ultra, all for really, really good prices right now. I'll link those down below if you want to take advantage and get a new Samsung phone for a great price. Next, we have the Bose Quiet Comfort 35 Series 2s. I have these. I have them in silver. Love, love, love these. Such good over-the-air headphones. They have Google built into them, so you can control your Google with it. 200 bucks. I bought mine for like 350 bucks. 200 bucks are so good for these headphones. Bluetooth, you can also use a wire. Noise cancellation is amazing on these. These are excellent, excellent headphones. You will not be disappointed with those. Next up, the Fire TV Stick 4K for 30 bucks. You might even be able to get it cheaper. I've seen it for as low as $19.99 on here, so you can play with it a little bit, but ultimately, even at 30 bucks, very good device to make your TV smart and watch videos and play simple games on here if you want. I love the Fire TV Stick 4K, and it performs really, really well. Next up, the MyQ Smart Garage Door Opener. This actually be my last one. If you have a garage, I have this same one. 17 bucks, it's amazing. It works with your phone. You can open and close your garage from anywhere in the world. You can get alerts when somebody delivers, if you want to. You can get Amazon to deliver packages right inside your garage, and they'll automatically close it for you too. Again, you don't have to do that part, but you do have the ability. The other part is it'll alert you when your garage has been opened and closed. I love this thing. I'm so glad I got it. I think I got it for 25 when I bought it, but 17 bucks, complete no-brainer, and it works with Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa. So there you guys go. All those deals are linked down below, and if you click on them and buy something, even if you don't buy that specific thing, you just shop through my link, I'll get a little portion of it because it's an affiliate link, helps out what I do, and you're gonna get amazing deals as well still with Amazon Prime Day. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about the Galaxy Fold, not the Z Fold, but the regular Fold, the first generation of this. There's a couple of things that are new software-wise about this phone, and some of those key features software-wise are now gonna come out as an update for the Galaxy Fold 1. So if you still have that device, you're gonna get a couple of new features. The first one is Edge Panel, so now you'll be able to use App Pair. and group your apps all up into one so you can have multiple apps open and save those. So multi-window is now much easier. Next is multi-active window. Again, more multi-window stuff in here. Capture view, so when you take a photo, you can see it on the left after you take the photo. Dual preview, it shows a preview of the image on the front and the main screen as well. Then you're also going to get rear cam selfie, so that if you want to use those back cameras as your main camera and you still want to see what's going on, you can do that so that you can see that on the front display as well. Now the update isn't out just yet, but it will be rolling out soon. So if you have the Galaxy Fold 1, you have even less of a reason to want to upgrade to the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Last story of the day, as you know, iPhone announced a bunch of new products yesterday, a bunch of new phones, iPhone 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, all these iPhone 12 mini, tons of phones. And their big selling point, at least one of the features, was 5G. They're like, we have 5G. 5G is so fast and so amazing. And if you search, I tried it myself, I didn't get these results, but people on Reddit had searched iPhone 12 and Samsung is throwing some major shade at Apple. The first one says, want a smaller phone or a smaller price without compromising? We've got a 5G Galaxy just for that. Now this one, you don't see anything Apple, so you might be like, well, whatever. It's just Samsung talking about their own products. Another one, they searched iPhone 12. You can see the first result, the new iPhone 12 coming soon. And then right below that, late to incredibly fast 5G, Samsung Galaxy. So come on and see incredible 5G lineup. Be one of the first to experience virtually lag-free gaming and streaming. So again, Samsung's throwing some shade there. And then lastly, here's another one. They searched iPhone 12 and the very first ad on Google says, want more Max than Max? Galaxy Note 20. So just huge amounts of shade thrown by Samsung at Apple. I absolutely love when companies do this. I remember when Apple used to do it with Microsoft, and it made me want to get an Apple, I think it was computers at the time, an Apple computer more than a Windows computer. So I actually love when they do this. Hopefully they do more commercials like they did in the past, where Samsung was making fun of the notch, which Apple still has the freaking notch, which is crazy. I can't believe they still have that huge notch on there. We have some absolutely crazy news about the Galaxy S20, but before that, PlayStation 5, let's talk about that. Sony has officially released a video where they show off the PlayStation 5 User Experience, and it's very cool to see this in action. It looks completely different, I think, versus what you get with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 and anything else they've released in the past for the user experience. A couple of key features taken away from it are picture-in-picture, which allows you to watch a friend's game or photo while you're inside of your own game. A bunch of other things as well, but the other thing that caught my eye was game help. So you can get game help if you're stuck on a level or a part of the game. You can get some game help directly within the game pretty much if you're a PlayStation Plus account holder. If you want to watch that entire video, it's linked in the description below of this video. It's about 12 minutes long. Very interesting, especially if you're getting a PlayStation 5. Last story of the day, Galaxy S21 line of phones. It's crazy, like insane. And the reason it's insane is because usually when these S line of phones come out, have them be the S20, S10, S9, whatever version of the S line is on, it usually is released in March, first week of March, maybe the end of February, somewhere in that time range that it's going to be released. The latest information about the Galaxy S21 series of phones is that it's going to be released maybe at the end of 2020, aka December, because they're about 6 weeks early in production. And as you can see from this article from a Korean website, it says Samsung Electronics accelerates mass production of the Galaxy S21. In there, they say some people are discussing the possibility of launching in December. The president of a parts maker has said that the previous Galaxy S20 was mass produced starting in early January, but the S21 has been asked to produce about a month and a half earlier. Samsung Electronics is also working on a major overhaul of the smartphone lineup next year while changing the S21 release schedule. The S21 project name is Palette. I don't know if that's correct because this is translated. It comes in a total of 3 sizes, including O1, T2, and P3, and comes in 4 colors. For the top model, the S Pen is applied for the first time in the Galaxy S series. Instead of mounting the S Pen on the S series, the Galaxy Note series is planning to be discontinued. Samsung is preparing to change after breaking the release formula of Galaxy S in the first half, the Note in the second half. It is noteworthy what the results of the early mass production of the S21, the first button, will lead. Now, I cannot imagine that Samsung's actually going to release the S21 in December of this year. I can't imagine they're going to. They've released so many phones this year. You start off with the S20, then you go to all the folds and the flips, and then you go on to the Note 20, and then the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. It just seems so out of sorts that they would actually do this. Now, the other thing you can keep in mind is Galaxy, the processor they generally use are Qualcomm's, at least in America. The 875 probably won't be ready until January, February, March of next year. And that's usually when Samsung's usually one of the first phone companies that puts the newest Qualcomm chip into their phones. Does this mean that Samsung, because there's rumors about this, that Samsung won't use Qualcomm at all on the S series of the 21 and go with their own Exynos? There's new Exynoses out there. There's the 1080, there's I believe it's the 2100 as well that's going to be coming out. Maybe Samsung's going to completely go over to that processor at the time. There's just so much craziness behind this. I would guess that if Samsung truly is working on releasing this phone earlier, I would expect January to be when these phones come out, maybe February, but I cannot imagine December. But we'll wait and see. If it is going to come out in December, you're going to hear more and more and more about this, because we're going to know more and more about this. And it would also make sense that if it does come out in December or January, and the phone not really being a true, crazy, amazing flagship phone, that it's going to carry over a lot of the technology from the Note phone, the S phone of last year, of 2020, I should say, and carry that over to the 2021 version of the Galaxy phone, the S line. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about the Galaxy Buds Live and Samsung's new wireless charger. Both of them are available right now. You're like, of course they are. At least the Buds definitely are. Buds Live are. There's 2 new colors for the Buds Live that you can order right this second. They are linked in the description down below, and you can now buy the red Galaxy Bud Lives on Amazon and also the blue ones. So they're going for $159.98 currently at the time of making this video, at least from what I can see. And also the blue. Awesome looking colors. Wish these were available when I got them. Red looks freaking really cool. So you can pick these up right now. Also, like I mentioned, you can get the Samsung wireless charger trio, not duo, trios. Charge 3 things at once. You charge your watch, and then the other one you could charge like a phone and headphones, or 2 phones and a watch, whatever you want on there. 3 things. $89 right now currently on Amazon. All 3 products are linked in the description down below. If you have an Android phone and you're getting a PlayStation 5, well, there's some good news. You're going to be able to use the PS Remote Play app, and it definitely, without a doubt, will be compatible with PlayStation 5. When you look at the notes on the Google Play Store for that app, it says use PS Remote Play to access your PS4 or PS5 via Wi-Fi. Display the PS4 or PS5 screen on your mobile device. Use the on-screen controller on your mobile device to control your PS4 or PS5. So there you go. Compatible. You'll be able to play your games remotely via Wi-Fi, PlayStation 5. This is great news. Last story of the day. Yesterday, if you watched that video, we talked about the Galaxy S21 coming out as early as December 2020, because Samsung's working on those devices, the S21 series of phones, and they're going to push it out early. And it looks like Sam Mobile has confirmed that the S21 series of phones will come out early, not as early as December, but January 2021, early January 2021, unless something crazy happens, those phones will be released right then and there. You might ask yourself, why? And they made some good points in the article, and I tend to agree with them. It's basically to create some room between all these series of phones that they have. So you think about it, they have the fan edition of the S line. So that generally, at least this year, came out in what, September, October, around that timeline. They're gonna create a bigger gap now between those phones. They'll release the S line, the premium S line in the beginning, very beginning of the year, and then the fan edition towards the end of the year. Again, to create that kind of the gap, I guess, right there. And then also the flip phone was released the same line as the S line, and it looks like they want to create a gap between that as well. That'll probably come out still in March, or probably March of 2021. And then you have the Z line, the Z Fold line. There's so many phones they have now, especially premium phones. And then you potentially have the Note line in August. So they just want to create more of a gap between all of these phones, and it makes total sense to me. And also it makes sense, again, I'm gonna go back to it just to put a little salt on there, not bitter salt, but just, a little seasoning to it, that the S line is looking more and more to probably not be a premium phone line. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about the Galaxy Note 20, Note 20 Ultra. One UI 3.0 is coming very, very soon. How do I know? Because Samsung has officially come out and said it, as you can see from this little banner they have here. Galaxy Note 20, Note 20 Ultra One UI 3 coming soon. It's obviously written in Korean, but when they've shown this in the past with the S20, it came out about like the next week. So I would assume that you'll see One UI 3 beta opening up, at least in Korea, this coming week. And then the rest of the world very shortly thereafter. Where you're gonna go, if you don't remember, you're gonna have to go into the Samsung Members app on your phone. You should have it. Just search, go into all your apps and look for Samsung Members app, and you should see a little banner on there. It says like download or register for the One UI 3 beta. That's where you're gonna go. Again, it's not available just yet, but it will be very, very soon for the Galaxy Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. Next up, Galaxy S21 series. Let's talk about it. This tweet comes from Ice Universe. He keeps on saying it. He's throwing fuel into this fire, saying that if you're a smart Samsung fan, please buy the S20 series as soon as possible. Don't wait for the S21 series. Except for the processor, the S21 is not as good as the S20 overall. So you're looking at a better processor on the S21 series versus the S20, but he's saying pretty much everything else is better on the S20. Don't you guys think that's crazy? It's just, to me, it's so weird that Samsung's probably gonna use the same name in terms of like the S line, and have a larger number than what you got with, say, the S20. This one would be the S21, but have a phone with less or maybe equal specs as their previous generation. Now, Google pretty much did that. Pixel, is this the Pixel 5? That's not the Pixel 5. We'll just say it is. With the Pixel 5, the Pixel 5 generally has worse specs than the Pixel 4, but it's funny to see Samsung doing this. Don't you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. As you know, the Galaxy Bud 2s or Galaxy Bud Sounds, whatever they end up calling these, which are gonna be the next generation of their wireless buds, will most likely be out, it seems like now at this point, in January. What about the colors? Well, this tweet comes from H. Wang, who says, Galaxy Buds 2 codename is gonna be Attic, and the colors are gonna be black, silver, violet, and they're also gonna have better waterproof. Now, I also found that information on an article in South Korea, and that might be where he pulled that from. But basically, those colors, black, silver, violet, very excited about the violet. I do like the color purple, as you can see. So having that in the earbuds is gonna be very nice, especially when that was already one of the colors for the BTS edition of those buds last year. So to see purple again, maybe that will be the same thing, BTS edition, or maybe it'll just be separate from BTS. And then better waterproofness is kind of weird. Am I gonna be able to dunk these underwater? I don't really care about that, but that's kind of an interesting thing. What about the colors of the Galaxy S21? Again, same tweet from the same guy, saying that the S21 codename is going to be Galileo, and each production name is going to be O1, P3, and T2. Obviously, it'll be like the S21, S21 Plus, and S21 Ultra, and it's going to come in the colors of gray, pink, violet, silver, and white. So there you go. Those are the colors for the S21. Again, I'd go with violet if I have the opportunity, but you know, the best version of that Ultra will probably only come in like silver and white or something like that. Probably silver and gray for all I know. But hopefully the colors look really, really nice for that. We got a couple of big stories today. A first look at the Galaxy S21 and the Galaxy S21 Ultra, and we know a lot about these phones from the cameras, the displays, the S Pen, all of that. So let's get into it. Let's first talk about the Samsung Galaxy S21. So here's our first look at the Galaxy S21. Now you can see it right here. It is a different design in the back. First, let's talk about the front though. You do get the camera hole punch at the top in the middle. The display size will be 6.2 inches. Something to know, you can see the bezels are actually bigger on the S21 version versus the S20. So the size of the bezels has increased. It's gone from 2 millimeters on the S20 to 3 millimeters on the S21. So you're gonna have a bigger bezel all the way around on this phone. On the back, you see the camera module is almost wrapping around the side of the phone, and there's no little, like, it's connected to the side. There's not like it doesn't seem like its own separate piece. It seems like, again, it wraps around on there. I don't hate the design. I've seen a lot of mixed messages. Some people like it, some people hate it. You can see that the flash is detached from the camera module itself. It's to the right of it. Again, the 3 cameras on there should be a telephoto, a ultra wide angle, and a main camera. The back of it should be made of plastic. You should get a 120 hertz full HD plus display. Price is rumored to be $899. 12 megapixel cameras, 3880 milliamp battery as well. Next up, the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. This is gonna be what it looks like, and you can see from just the look at this, it has that wraparound camera, but except this one is way, way bigger. And on here, you will get 4 cameras on the back. The front looks basically the same as it has in the past. The rumored display size for this is somewhere between 6.7 and 7 inches, somewhere in there. Most likely it'll probably end up being the same as the S21 Ultra, which is about 6.9 inches. Now, we talked about the cameras on the back of the S21 Ultra. There doesn't seem to be a time of flight sensor on the back, which helps with like the bokeh effect. You don't need it, but it does help with it. You will get a main camera lens, an ultra wide lens, a telephoto, and a periscope. In terms of megapixels on the back, you're looking at 108 megapixels, 10, 10, and 16 megapixels. The camera bump on the back of the S21 Ultra is supposed to be about 2 times bigger than the regular S21. So you're gonna get another big camera bump, probably about the same size as the S20 Ultra's camera bump. S Pen support. Now, there isn't a slot for an S Pen on the S21 Ultra, but that doesn't mean it won't support the S21 Ultra in terms of maybe you have to get a case of some sort in order to carry it around very easily, but S Pen support has not been ruled out. There just isn't a place on the phone that it will sit like it does on the Note 20 Ultra. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the bezels on the S21 Ultra are very, very small, as you can see. So we should get very, good looking design on the front of this phone in terms of bezel size. So just looking at the S21 and the S21 Ultra in terms of design, the only really big difference design is on the back, the camera module. You get something like, for instance, this phone where you have, this kind of camera module. This one on the S21 and S20 Ultra, it's gonna start all the way over to the edge of that. Again, I don't hate it. I don't think it looks that bad. It looks really big on the S21 Ultra, just like it did on the S20 Ultra. But again, it's not that bad of a thing. I am curious, and we'll find out this very, very soon. Is S Pen, going to be part of the deal with the S21 Ultra? Will it be inside the box? Will you have to buy it separately? Will it come with a case that houses it? We're going to find out this stuff very, very soon, because remember, the release date for the S21 series of phones is January 2021, which is only November, December, 2 to 3 months away at this point that you'd be able to buy that phone. And then another thing just to remember is we don't have any full specs on these phones. in terms of the S21 Ultra especially, but the rumors are coming out that it might not be a flagship phone. We'll wait and see. Maybe only the Ultra will, and the other ones definitely won't be, in terms of the S21 Plus and the S21 regular version. But right now, it's not due to be a total flagship series of phones. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every single day. Question out to you guys is, what do you think of the design of the S21 and S21 Ultra? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you down the road.